Yes.
Oh, hi there. It's Lena Howland reporting with ABC 10. I wanted to take you live real quick because I am joined by someone you may have seen recently from American Idol. This is Ryan Hammond.
Hello,
Ryan, say hello to everybody.
How's it going?
Hello, hello. Awesome. Well, as we wait for more people to tune into this Facebook Live, I just kind of wanted to introduce him and tell you a little bit about what we are doing out here. We are in Modesto right now, which is Ryan Hammond's hometown. He was born and raised here in beautiful Modesto, a place that I am fortunate to report in every day. So we're back in Ryan's hometown. Ryan is a finalist on American Idol right now. He will appear on Sunday's episode where he is in the top 40, which is pretty incredible. So I wanted to take you guys live right now to ask you to tune in and type in your questions in the comments section below, and Ryan and I will try to answer your questions as we see them pop up. So for now, Ryan, I just wanted to toss it over to you to just kind of introduce yourself, tell us what we're doing out here and how you are doing.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much for having me. This has been such an incredible journey to be a part of this show. Like a lot of you guys, I've been watching the show since I was a little kid, and so the dream is always to be a part of it. And so to be on it, it's so surreal, and to be in the top 40. You know, they told us there were 350,000 auditions, and so like to be at the top 40 of those 350,000 people is like absolutely unreal. And so the process has been incredible to get to do Hollywood Week, to get to sing in front of the judges, to meet Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, Ryan Seacrest, to be behind the camera, see how the whole thing, you know, that we've watched, all of us have been watching for so long, to see how it gets made, to meet the producers, the ones behind the scenes. There's one guy, his name's Patrick. He's been on for 17 years, done every single season, has watched every single person walk that stage from the audition all the way to winning the show. And so to get to be backstage with him and hang out with him and hear all the stories, the nightmares, and then the incredible moments, it's just been an amazing experience. Hollywood Week was intense. It was a wild ride. Definitely nothing can really prepare you for the stress that you experience that week, but it was so cool. You guys didn't get to see me sing all 3 rounds, but I got a standing ovation actually all 3 times, from my Lines of 10 solo to the group rounds and on my solo rounds. And yeah, so it was such a wild ride. If you guys do want to go over to my page on Facebook as well as Instagram, I did post my group round rehearsal. We don't have the actual footage from when we sang in front of the judges, but if you want to watch us outside the Orpheum Theater, we were all practicing, and so I did post that on there. We sang California Dreamin', which was actually really cool. It was a dream of mine to do that on the show because if some of you guys watched the first season of American Idol, I don't remember what round it was, but the finalists all sang that as a group together. They sang California Dreamin', and that's when I heard the song the first time, and I wanted to do that, and so I actually got to choose the song for our group round, and we did that, and it was absolutely amazing. Do we have questions?
Oh yeah, we are getting a few questions.
I don't have glasses
Let's
on,
see.
so I
Here,
can't read.
I'm gonna zoom in. We have Marie asking us a few questions. She says, hi, Ryan and Lena. Ryan, the journey sounds amazing and nerve-wracking. She wants to know, what's the most inspiring part of all of this? You are literally on American Idol, something that you and I both have watched basically our whole lives since we were growing up. So what's the most inspiring part of this?
You know, for me, the most inspiring part has been seeing the other contestants as well. We were actually just talking about it before we went live. Like, is it like all crazy? Is there drama? Is it competitive? But it's actually, we're like a family, super supportive of each other. So getting to sit in that crowd and watch everybody do what they do best. You know, we all don't sing like each other. Not everybody, you know, is like me where I'm so loud and I've got like this big old loud voice. You have so many people like Alejandro. You guys saw he had the most beautiful audition and he sang Sorry by Justin Bieber. And to see him play that guitar and to see him have that soft voice and you know, not many know this, but he's so, he doesn't consider himself a singer. And I'm like, what in the world? You're in the top 40. Like, you're so amazing. And so to see him going through the competition and having these moments where people are in tears watching him sing, and to see him be like, oh, wow, I actually belong here. Those are the moments I've been inspired by, as sitting around with this group of people and watching everybody see that moment where they feel like they actually belong as a singer on this show. And for me, myself, even, like, to be here, I'm like, wow, like, I actually have what it takes to make it in the music industry. It's something I didn't realize I'd, you know, ever be able to actually accomplish. I always wanted it, but I didn't know I could. And so that's also been inspiring. This show has helped me realize that my dreams can come true.
Oh my gosh, that is really inspiring. This guy's going to make me tear up. We are so excited for you. Ryan is only 25 years old, born and raised here in Modesto. He is an alumni of Modesto High School.
Yeah.
So if we have anybody from Modesto High School watching, I know you guys have so much to be proud of with Ryan here. So one of the things that I wanted to address pretty early on in this Facebook Live is the fact that we are still in the middle of the show, and the show is going to be airing on Sunday night at 8 o'clock here in California, and that's where you will see the top 40 compete. They're going to be at the Disney Aulani Resort and Spa in Hawaii. Yes. I'm very jealous. I wish I could have come.
Oh, it was amazing.
So just to talk about that, those shows are actually pre-recorded. So it's not like you actually have to physically be there right now. Can you talk a little bit of the behind the scenes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Hawaii was actually recorded in January.
Oh, man.
Which was really cool because it was freezing here. And then we got to go to the most beautiful island. I'd actually never been to Hawaii, so to go to Hawaii and it be free was great.
Yes.
So yeah, American Idol's totally spoiled us. We got to go out there for a week and got to enjoy the resort, enjoy the beach, hang out with the contestants, the producers, and have such a great time. And then we got to compete. And so on this episode, you guys are going to get to see the top 40. We're going to do an open air live concert. It's our first time on American Idol this season singing in front of a live audience. We've sang in front of each other and we've sang in front of parents, but we haven't sang in front of a live crowd yet. So this is the first time you guys are going to get to see that us perform, really. And that's what the judges are looking for, is not just the singers, but who are the performers, who can captivate an audience in this round. So I'm really excited for you guys to see that. We got to really spend time with the band, customizing the songs this time, not just singing a 30-second clip, but really getting to sing almost a full song. I believe we get a full 2-minute segment. I don't know exactly how much of it you guys will get to see. There might be more of clips, but we got to perform basically a full song for the judges and for an audience, and really make this song our own with the band, choosing our own keys, choosing our own arrangements. You know, like, hey, I want to go up with this big note right here, and really making this song become mine. And so I don't think I'm not allowed. I'm like, what am I allowed to say or not? I can tell you guys I am going to be singing A Song for You by Donny Hathaway. So that is the song. I wanted to bring a little bit of soul to the table for this next round. So
you heard it here first. That's a little secret.
Yes.
You know, at least maybe an idea of what he might be singing on Sunday. That's so exciting. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, we are getting a few more questions here as more people tune into this Facebook Live.
As hard as I can
let's see. Trisha is asking, what is it like when the cameras are not rolling while you are on American Idol? I know you kind of touched on that earlier, how you have started to become friends with some of the other finalists, and you might not see them totally as competitors. Tell me a little bit about that mindset.
Yeah, so when the cameras are off, luckily in Hawaii, we actually got a lot of free time. They spoiled us, like I said. So we got to, go float in the lazy river with each other, and there was moments where some of us, we were like chilling in the hot tub for sunset. It was like an infinity hot tub over a mountain. absolutely beautiful. Go to the Alani Resort if you can. And we were just sitting there, and people from the resort were like, hey, what are you guys here for? And so we were telling them, and we all just got in circles and got to sing with each other. And you're going to see we hanging out on the beach with the guitar, just singing for the people staying at the resort. You just feel so, it feels so cool to be around people that love to sing as much as you do. And so these 40 people that you guys are, have met or are going to meet that are going to be on, they, everybody just has so much, love for music. And so that's literally all we did. Basically, we'd all sit in each other's room, sit on the beach, sit in the hot tub, wherever we were, you just heard singing. So the Alani got free entertainment basically for a week.
I wish I could have been there during that time. That sounds amazing. We are still getting a few more questions, and as you guys continue to watch this Facebook Live, feel free to write your comments in the questions write your comments here in the questions.
The feed, the comment feed,
yes,
whatever it's called.
Absolutely. I'm like nervous right now talking to Ryan. I feel a little bit starstruck.
Oh gosh.
And that is kind of one of our next questions. Somebody wants to know, do people recognize you on the streets, and how do you deal with it if people start to approach you? Like when you're back here in Modesto, are people like, oh my gosh, are you that guy from TV?
You know, due to the show and everything going on, I haven't been in my hometown as much lately. I pop in and out, and it's usually to run here. We're at my work office right now at the Gates team. And so usually I have only been to the coffee shop here and there, and I know everybody there. So it's not been like, oh my gosh, it's Ryan Hammond. It's Ryan, like, we're so proud of you. So that's been what I've experienced here. I have, in Hawaii, definitely on the island, we were getting recognized a lot as people saw us. They want to see the pictures. And for me, it's totally like flattering, like the fact that you guys have heard me sing. It's so, like, that part's still surreal to me. I think on Facebook right now my audition has like 1.4 million views, and so that's like amazing. And so I haven't been getting recognized like crazy. Here and there's been some moments, I've been spending some time in the Bay Area, and so I've actually had a couple people out there know me, and so I've gotten, some free stuff here and there, and I've had a couple like fashion brands reaching out to me that want to work with me. There's one, I'm working on it right now, but they are having like an emerging artist line, and so they want to use me, and so that part's been really cool. Getting messaged by a couple different venues from across the country that want to have me out to sing in the next couple months after the show is over. And so, that part's, it's all amazing to me. It's like such a humbling experience. I'm just Ryan from Modesto. So to get recognized or to have people wanting pictures with me, that's wild.
Oh my God. You're so modest. Yeah. You're just like a regular person. He's like, I'm just Ryan.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want Mexican food and coffee after this.
Mexican food and coffee.
Yes.
Wow. And so Ryan and I just did our on-camera interview here in his office. You can see my camera on the other side of the room. So we put the camera down just to have this relaxed conversation with our viewers, and just to show this really personable side of Ryan. He's just like us. He just likes Mexican food and coffee shops.
Literally, yeah.
So Ryan actually has a pretty inspiring story, and if you watched the first episode of American Idol, and if you saw Ryan's audition, he actually addressed a little bit of his story on why he's there, or a little bit of his journey on getting there. So can you talk to me a little bit about your weight loss journey and kind of what brought us here to this point?
Yeah, so if you guys do want to see a little bit more of the details of the story, it is on YouTube now, as well as the American Idol page, and on my personal pages. But in 2017, I weighed 331 pounds. Wow. And I, after years of being up and down with my weight, battling the battle that so many of us go through. You know, there's so many people that battle weight, whether it's with eating disorders, being underweight, being overweight, obesity. There's just so much struggle with weight and with nutrition and exercise and all that stuff. And I was never able to get control over my weight. And so I decided to go forward with the gastric bypass surgery. And so I had that in 2017, and I did have a few complications. I almost didn't make it. There was actually a hole left in my stomach, and let's see, I think it was 5 days after surgery where I woke up and I felt like I was having like a heart attack. I just felt this intense pain in my chest, and part of my body had gone numb, and I did go to nursing school, so I was like, oh gosh, one of the risks of surgery is blood clotting, and especially if you're not walking enough, a blood clot can happen in your leg, travel through your heart, and I was like, oh no, that's what's happening. And so after going into the hospital and spending a few days in there, we couldn't figure out what was wrong, but we did realize it wasn't a heart attack, it wasn't a blood problem, but something was happening inside my body, and it was like we just couldn't figure out what was going on. My lungs had collapsed at that point. And so here I am, 330 pounds, laying in what I thought was my deathbed. And I said it on the show, and I remember that moment where I was sitting there saying, did I really let my lack of self-control and my weight cause me to have a surgery, and now I'm going to die for it? I couldn't get control over the weight, and now here I am at, I think I was 23 years old at the time, and I'm going to die because of this. And a surgeon did come in. He was not in town, and he flew in, a bariatric surgeon. He looked at me and he said, I don't know what's wrong, but I know that you aren't going to make it through the night, so we're going to do emergency surgery. And so they took me into the surgery about midnight, and when he opened me up, he found the hole in my stomach. My insides had basically melted. My lungs had collapsed to get away from the toxins. My other organs were actually moving to seal the hole, to try to protect my body from the acid that was leaking into it. And he said that from the moment he opened me up, I had 6 hours to live. And they had actually scheduled my surgery for the next day, 8 a.m. So if I would have gone to sleep and woken up for 8 a.m. surgery, I wouldn't have actually woken up. I would have died about 5, 6 a.m. So that surgeon saved my life.
Oh my gosh.
And so then after that, I woke up, and I was in, of course, the most intense pain I had ever experienced. I'd never even had like a cavity before, so I did not have a grid for pain.
Oh, no.
And so it was excruciating. My family was amazing through that time. They, my mom was the one pulling me out of bed to walk me, and my grandma was helping shower me. My little sister stayed the night to like swab my mouth because I couldn't have anything in my mouth at the time. And then I started my healing journey, and if you do research on the gastric bypass, there's a whole nutrition plan that goes into the biggest deceitful thing, and the biggest comment I've actually received is that I cheated by having surgery. And I do understand where they may say that. They're like, oh, well, you didn't do it on your own. I'm like, I may not have done it 100% on my own, but this was just a tool. The gastric bypass was the tool that helped me with my self-control. And it helped me, I just remember being like a black hole. Like so many of us have those moments where we just shovel food down like crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
and, I couldn't stop. And so the surgery helped me stop eating as much. It helped me finally get control over my portions. But not as many people lose as much weight as I did with the surgery. You see so many people that lose, 50 to 70 pounds, and some of them even gain it back over time. But I took this as a tool and as my launch pad for my health. And so I got into, started at training. I actually trained with, shout out to Holly, Lift Above Fitness, and Madison Danielle, both of those girls, as well as Fit Body Boot Camp. I worked hard with them, and got on my nutrition. I opened up my nursing school books. I had all the education. I just wasn't following it. So
and I have to interrupt you to ask, how much weight did you lose from that process?
Yeah, so in the first 6 months after surgery, I lost 150 pounds, which is pretty record time. And then overall in 2 years, I lost 170 pounds.
Wow.
And so I am fully healed. I did recover well. I have no complications now, totally healthy. And I even have put a little bit of weight back on, but healthy weight.
Good. Healthy weight. We both said that at the same time.
Yeah, but
healthy weight.
Not bad weight.
Yeah. And so, but you have been, what is amazing to me is the fact that you have been so open to talk about this.
Yes.
A lot of people, when they're auditioning for American Idol, they want their focus to be on their singing and the great, amazing voice that you have, which it partially was, but you were so open with these judges. You shared that exact story with them. Yes. From the very beginning, on day one. We all saw it in your audition. Why did you want to share that with them?
There were a few reasons that I wanted to share my weight loss journey. And number one is there's so many people struggling out there that were in the same shoes that I was. And if my story can help one person, then awesome. What you guys didn't see in Hollywood Week, actually, Luke Bryan, before I sang my line of 10 solo, he said, I just need to take a minute. If you want to turn the cameras off, you can. And he had tears in his eyes. And he said, since your audition, I actually took your story and I shared it with one of my friends that had been struggling with their weight. And they had considered weight loss surgery, but they didn't think that they would actually lose all the weight or that they wouldn't be healthy afterward. And I saw what you accomplished. And like he was like, look at you. Like, you look like healthy. Nobody would ever known that you were that way before. And so I took your story and told them what you went through, and they actually went through with the surgery and are on their health journey now. And he said, so you have already affected my life and one of my best friends' lives. And so thank you for that. And so that was already one person before the show even aired. And then I've gotten so many responses. And so that was one of the reasons, was to help people. And another reason too was it had so much to do with my confidence. And probably one of the reasons I didn't make it on the show the other two times I auditioned was I wasn't confident enough in myself. I didn't believe in myself enough because I was so insecure about the way that I looked, the way that I carried myself. And the Modesto Bee actually put an article out. I talked to them, and where I said I was afraid for, like, what if I have an album one day? Like, I don't want them to see my fat picture on the album. No. So I was like, I don't want to be in music until I lose the weight. And that's what I told myself. And so, you know, don't do what I did. Don't hold yourself back. Like, go for your dreams. No matter, your weight does not matter. Your health does matter, of course. But don't stop your dreams because of being at a certain number on the scale. That's my biggest regret, is holding myself back for so many years. But here I am on the other side of it, and now I do have confidence in myself, and I love my journey, and so I wanted to share that with them to help people, and because it changed the way that I thought about myself too, and made me have the confidence to go out for the show.
Good. Amazing. Absolutely incredible story. No, I don't want to keep you for too much longer, Ryan, because we are actually at Ryan's day job right now. Ryan works in real estate here in Modesto. He actually lives over in San Jose, and he commuted here this morning, and he's working on moving back to Modesto. But long story short, he works in Modesto. He's in real estate. We're in his work office, so I don't want his bosses to get mad at me for pulling him aside from his real job. So just one last question for you, Ryan, to tie this all together. If you have a certain message for any of our viewers watching this, any other key takeaways, whether you win American Idol, you make it all the way up to the top 2, or you get sent home this Sunday, no matter what happens, what would you want your takeaway message to be for the audience watching?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, whether it's weight, whether it's singing, no matter what your dream is, don't ever give up. And just because you hear a no doesn't mean it's a no for good. It's a not right now. Maybe it's not the right time, or maybe it's not the right spot. It's timing is everything. There's so much that goes into it. And for me, I've auditioned for the show, and I felt so defeated every time I didn't make it. But for whatever reason, it was this year, this time, this judge panel, this network, everything happened the way that it did because this was the moment that I was supposed to be on this show. So don't let a no mean forever no, and don't let it mean you need to give up. It just means go start working on yourself, so that way when it is a yes, you're fully ready and you have this tool belt full of experience now to be able to achieve your dreams. So Don't ever stop.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And one of our last comments here said that is excellent advice right there. So people are watching and people definitely appreciate what you have to say as a performing artist and as a hometown Modesto guy. Woo! So if you want to hear more about Ryan's story, we will have more about him coming up on ABC 10 tonight at 5 and 6. We'll hear more from Ryan and our sit-down interview together. And if you want to see him on American Idol, tune in this upcoming Sunday on ABC. It will be on at 8 o'clock California time. And I hope that you will tune in and watch Ryan and kind of continue to follow him to see how far he makes it. And maybe you'll see him win. We'll see. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Well, perfect. Ryan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Cool. All right. So for now, reporting in Modesto, this is Lena Howland and Ryan Hammond for ABC 10.